I bet you watched all the riding skills videos out there, and there's some amazing instructors with a lot of knowledge. We got Adam Riemann, Chris Birch, Red Sachs, Brake Magazine, and you watch them all. And they are great instructors teaching you how to do the things they do. But there's only one problem. It's you. You know, to be really good at something, you need to, you know it, you just don't want to admit it. It takes practice. A lot of practice, all the time, continuously practice to get that into your muscle memory, and that's where the problem is. To get the repetition that we need to find a way to practice on every ride that we make, even if it's just a ride around the corner. So from the moment that you get on the bike till you get off the bike, there are things that we can intentionally practice to get better on every ride. So welcome to the Nomad Sweden training program for lazy people. Okay, so let's go on a little milk run. Just an ordinary bike ride. And we put some training stuff in there to make us more skilled dirt riders. Okay, so we're ready to take off, and don't just do as you usually do, but make it a balance drill. So before, I don't put the first gear in, but I move up both feet, and while I'm with both feet in the air, I put in first gear and right away. So I get some balance skills there. So every time you take off, make that a balance challenge. And now we go on that ride. How nice. And while he takes off, we're going to look at the next step while we're riding, body position. So when you're on the road, there's two typical cruising positions. We have the couch slouch, and we have the adventure meerkat. Here, just cruising along. And when you're turning, you're just turning with the bike like luggage on the bike. We want to train for off-road, and then we need to assume an active off-road position. And we can do that even if it's tarmac, doesn't matter. So what you need to do from here is rotate the pelvis to get your straight back, scoot forward, because when you scoot forward, you get more arm room. Your arms get bent a little bit. So you can keep those elbows up and be active, because from here I can move around a lot more on the bike. And then we have the active standing position, which is super easy to enter because you just straighten your legs and keep your head where it is already, like that, and arms up. Because and you will use the standing position when you need even more weight shifting, because you're moving around to keep balance. And if you stand up, you can use the heaviest part of your body, the butt. So you can move that around to get the balance shifted. And your bent arms allows it to do that. So when you're riding, you can just remind yourself. That's muscle memory. Just cruising along. Oh, there. Just doing that motion is training muscle memory and getting up from here. Your feet a bit with dropped heels, so and the peg on the front half of the foot, like that. So get that into your system, practice that a lot so you get into the feeling there. So there's one more thing that you need to think about, and that is the lower part of your body is doing the work, all the work, and you have all the weight here. So in an off-road situation, I may press the foot pegs a little bit to just make the butt come loose a little bit, or you sit down like this, and you need to just mentally feel that your weight and work is down here. The upper body is on vacation. It's doing nothing besides holding the elbows up and just moving along on the bike. And that is something that you prepare yourself mentally, sort of a body feeling meditation. Every time you have some sort of challenge in front of you, like a little bump you need to get up, or a ditch, or whatever, when you're in the position, active position, you just feel your body. You feel the weight on the feet and complete relaxation in the shoulders and arms. You're only touching the handlebar using the controls. I have something coming up, active lower body, and I feel it, and relax in the upper body. And this we can do while riding. We go on this ride and just whoop and feel your body, feel the weight, feel the relaxation. Now you've done that. You can do that 100 times in a ride, and eventually it will become the new normal. And now for that training that you can do on every ride that will really take your riding to the next level. And it will be quite tricky for some, including myself, but since we can do it on every ride, we'll get good at it. And that's trail braking. Trail braking means using primarily the front brake while turning. Even on loose or tarmac, doesn't matter. It's good for all scenarios. But hey, braking in a curve is a big no-no, right? It's dangerous. Yes, of course, if you're in the middle of the turn and you panic brake or hit the brakes rapidly, that will lose traction and you will go off the road. But this involves going in your normal speed. You see a curve that will require some slowing down. You start your slowing down, and then making the turn, you carefully release the brakes so that you never really come off the brakes until it's time to give gas. Keep that brake light on until you give gas. And the way it works is you have this bike geometry, which means how high the front and end is, and that's optimized with correct sag and fork settings and everything, so you're on this perfect bike. So if we were to lower the front end of the bike, you would get a more unstable bike that wants to turn, and you can turn more sharply and so on. If you raise the front like a chopper, you will have a very stable bike that will want to go straight ahead. So how can we adjust that while we're riding? And that's done by trail braking. So when you come in for a curve, you hit the brakes and it dives. So you're lowering the front, it becomes unstable and wants to start turning. It's easier to turn. And going into the curve, you will release the brakes. But not as usual, just releasing it and coast through the curve, but you will release it slowly until it's time to give throttle, and then you have about, could be 5% brake, because when you brake, you start diving, get that nice curve geometry of the bike. When you release the brake, you just keep enough brake to keep the dive in there still until it's time to give gas. And this also adds to the pressure on the ground, on the tire. So you get new geometry, more pressure on the ground, and you do nice, calm, smooth adjustments, and that's the trick. There's a saying, the fastest riders use the brakes the most. So we're on the road with gas, and we approach a curve, and we take 1 or 2 fingers and roll off the throttle and apply the brakes slowly, nice and slowly. And when we enter the curve, we keep it, but we release it a little bit. Slowly until we can roll on the throttle again. So let's try this, but in a straight line. Let's not mess with the curve just yet. And then we hit the brakes to slow down softly, release the brakes softly, and give smooth gas again. Then we just train it Oh, I have a bump here, but on every corner, like brake, release, see the exit, and go. I'm intentionally using tarmac roads right now because that's what you normally get. So here's the curve, I come in a little hot, so I need to lead off some speed, lead, and there I gas and brake, but I keep the brake engaged until there I see the exit and I give more gas. If you can find gravel, that's great to train on also. Also here, release slowly, there I give some gas with too low gear, because there's a lot to think about now. You have to gear down and apply the brakes, release the throttle, ease out on the brake, and then give gas again. And that can be much, so I mean, do it slow. Okay, so I found a really nice and curvy gravel road, but any road which is a lot of curves are good, because now we can train and brakes a little bit. Here I don't know what's happening, brake, I see the exit, release and gas. Brake slowly, gas. So we're only giving gas or brake, no coasting. That's the challenge. So just a cautionary brake, gas. And here we're coming in hot, give it some brake, I see the exit, gas. Braking slowly, gently. Brake. Release slowly, so you never just release the brake, you always just ease it out and keep it. Just a little tiny bit of brake. Here, brake, I'm released, I'm at 5% brake now, but I'm braking. So keep that brake light lit until you give throttle. Release and go. So, practice, practice, practice. And there's so many opportunities. Every corner that you have, you can practice. And we're back again. But don't just stop like any old ride. Get the side stand down, like that. And balance. And put down when you lose the balance, as long as you can. And get off the wrong side. Whoa! Like that. Engages your balance and challenge a bit. So, nothing new to this training program really, except that you can do it on every ride. In this urban area, as urban as it gets in my hometown, but balance training at start and stop, red lights, also body position, get into that feeling, feel your legs being active, relax in the shoulders, do that movement, and trail braking. That takes a time to get used to, but once you get that, it comes in naturally, and switching from throttle to braking, to bleed off speed quite hard, but then just gently release and keep that brake just at minimum until you hit the apex and you see the exit and you roll on the throttle again. That will really make you more stable and even faster, even though you don't have to go fast in the corners. Start slow and train that, and then you're ready for most things. That's a great foundation to build on. So that's my tips. Although we have all these great training instructors and videos out there, get this on your daily ride, and I promise you, you will improve your riding skills or your money back, 30 days guarantee. But there's more videos from Nomad, so check them out. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Bye bye.